Hi guys, and welcome to Visual C++ Math app. Okay, let me show you guys how this math app works. Now I have exit, clear, and reset, and right here I have some quiz going on. So we have 2 multiplied by 1, and over here if the answer is wrong you get the correct answer here, and if you score and you get the point awarded right here. So let's see.
2 multiplied by 7, what is the answer?
Into that, and let's
3 minus 1, what is the answer?
let's deliberately make a mistake for that.
Incorrect answer. The right answer is 2.
There we go.
9 divided by 10, what is the answer? Incorrect answer. The right answer is 0. 5 plus 10, what is the
Zero,
answer?
because we're using integer throughout. So this one, and this will take us to the next level.
9 multiplied by 5, what is the
We're
answer?
now in the next level. So with the next level, if this runs out, the system will, because we do have a
5
timer
plus
there.
5, what is the answer?
There we go.
Goodbye. The game is over.
Right now we just have goodbye, the game is over. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take you guys straight into C++ development environment, and we'll put one of these together. So let's exit out. Let's select new project. There we go. I'm going to click on create new, and let's select CLR and click on next. I'm going to give that a name called CPP Math App and click on create. There we go, my development environment is getting ready. Now let's click on the Solution Explorer. Inside the Solution Explorer, I'm now going to click on this property right there. Let's click on that. That should open up a dialog. It's coming up, and there we go. Right in here, make sure the configuration manager is set to 64-bit if you are using 64-bit, or if you are using 32-bit, just set it to x86. Since I'm using 64-bit, I'm going to leave that at 64-bit. And here, make sure that's debug 64-bit. Close that. Now let's come right here. You see where we have the linker. Click on the linker and let's select system. Right inside the system, you see subsystem. Drop this down. Let's select Windows subsystem window. There we go. The next thing now is go to advanced. Inside the advanced, you see where we have enter points. Change that to main, or just type in main right in there. Now click on apply right here and click on OK. Apply, then I'm going to click on OK. There we go. Now that that is done, let's go back to our Solution Explorer. Here you see the name of your project. Right click on it and let's select add new, then select new item. Once the new item pop up, either you can use UI or you can use CLR. So I'm going to select the CLR, select Windows Form, and that's the default name that I've been given, is known as my form.h. Click on add. There. And that should give us an error right for now. And just like I said, we end up with an error. So to take care of that, I'm going to double click on my form.cpp right here. If you can see, just drop down the source file, that is it right here. Double click on that. And right here, there's some lines of code that we can always get from the forum. I'm going to click on the browser and let's drop this down. Let's go to my bookmark, and right here, that's the forum. I'll copy the URL of this forum and add it to the description area anyway, so you guys can just copy and paste as well. And right underneath here we have the I am right here now. This is the instruction that you're meant to follow. I'm going to copy these lines of codes, copy everything, and paste it right underneath here. The only bit that I'll have to change is the name. Come right here, look at the name of my project. So I'm going to change that to CPP Mass Apps. There we go. And this error should disappear. That's it, done. So I've now created my form. So I'm going to click on that, click on run, and the form should display any minute from now. It's coming up. There we go. That's the form right there. I'm going to close that form, and we have to close the whole system and reopen it so that it kind of like reboots the whole setup. So for me to be able to open up the form, like I said, I'm going to close this. There we go, it's closing up. There. This is my old one, so I'm going to right click now and reopen the form itself. That is it right there. Click on the new one. There. Okay, that's my project. So I will now double click on the form. That's the form right there. Double click on it. There we go. We now have a form. So let's go to the project, all the properties of the form. I'm going to change it to let's say 1386 by 788. There we go. That is my form ready. I might as well just add another form, so I'm going to go straight to the project and I will select add new item, and that will be form 2. So grab hold of that, and that is it right there. So this one is my form 1.h. The first one was just my form, and click on add. So the second form will be able to generate itself based on the previous instruction, I believe. So that is form 1. This is 1. This is meant to be form 2. Okay, I'm going to use the same lines of code to generate that, then I will have to delete it again. So come right here, I'm going to grab hold of this, the same lines of code that I copied earlier, paste that in here. Right, I'm going to use that to generate the lines of code that is required, but I also need to change the name. That should have been my form 1. So let's cancel that and just put 1 here. There, that error should go any minute from now. Gone. So let's run that. Once I'm able to generate the form, then I can delete that. I have this error now, that's fine. Close that. I'm going to close the whole form again and right click and reopen it one more time. There. And let's see, it should work this time around. There we go. That is my form right there. Double click on the form number 2. That's form number 2, and this is form number 1. Okay, I have 1. That's the first one. This is the second one. You can see the size of the first one, and that's the second one. So let's come straight to the properties here, and I'm going to change the size of this to 1386 by 788 as well. Okay, so let's see if it's going to work. I'm just going to click on run, and let's see. If it doesn't work, then I'm going to have to delete the content in there. Yep, it doesn't work. Alright, so all I need to do is to come right in here. You see my form myform1.cpp, click on that and just comment this out, because it's sort of like, it's more or less duplicating what I have in here, so that is fine. So I should run it now. I should be able to run it. Okay, yeah, just like I said, that is fine. Alright, so let's go straight into form 1 here, the very first form. I'm going to minimize all of these. Now what I want to do is just to change the appearance of the whole interface. So let's go straight to the properties, scroll right down, let's grab hold of panel, paste one here, there we go. Yeah, and I'm going to go straight to the properties, and right inside the properties you see where we have back color. I'm going to change that to cadet blue. Let's type in cadet blue. There, that is fine, and I'm going to now copy that very panel, hold on to the control, click and drag, and click and drag it right down as well again, and just drag this one. Okay, that's fine. It's looking good so far. Alright, I'm going to get hold of one more panel, and this panel, I want the color to be the back color. I want the back color to be control. Okay, let's change the color of these to control. Control is the default color. There. Alright, just drag it that much and just copy it across as well. Right there. Okay, I'm now going to copy it across, control, just hold on to the control, click and drag. Paste one here, and I'm going to paste another one right at the top. There. And this one, just drag it that much. Brilliant. That is good. Now, underneath here, I'm going to add buttons. Let's come right here, grab hold of buttons. We have one here. And this button, let's change the background color of that button to cadet blue. Right, change the font as well to something a little bit readable. I think I'm going to make it about 32, that's fine. Now hold on to the control, click and drag, and click and drag again. That's good. Right. Okay, that's fine. So right up here, I'm going to add a label. Come up here, just add a label here. We have one label, and that very label, let's change the font size to something very much readable. Let's see, maybe, yeah. Okay, and change the text content on it. I will make that, I'll call that Visual C++ Math App. There we go. That's good. We also need labels. Just copy this, dump it there, and change the size of that to something a little bit smaller. I'm gonna go for maybe 28. Yeah, that's not too bad. Or maybe make that 32 as well. And change the text content on it. I want to change that to value 1. And copy. We have value 2, and here we're going to have, let's say, random operator. There we go. This will be value 2. And we need text box. Grab hold of text box, and that text box I'm going to change that to 32 as well. Yeah, make that bold, and let's come down here and just get it centered. Copy it across. Yeah, for value number 2, copy this value, just put that in there, put this here, and here I'm going to change this whole lot, delete whatever we have in there, delete, come right up here and change the auto size to false. Border style, I'm going to make that fixed 3D. There, that's good. And underneath here we're going to need something that will say correct answer. That is for should in case if there's any mistake, so we call that correct answer. And I'm going to also copy that again, space that in there, call that points award or point awarded. And okay, I'm going to need a label. Grab hold of this label, paste that in there and paste it here as well. Right, and I would then need buttons. Grab hold of a button. Oh, I've got some button right underneath here. Paste that here. And change the back color of that very button to control. There. Text content will be results. There we go. So I'm going to speed up the design of the whole interface and get back to you guys shortly. Okay, but for now this is how it's looking. Let's run it and you see. There we go guys, that's how it's looking. I just need to tidy up and I'll get back to you guys shortly. Alright, there, I believe the interface is ready, so let's run it and you guys see how that looks like. There we go guys, that is how it's looking now. Okay, that's good. I'm going to exit out. I'll just select it all and copy everything that I have in here, go to number 2, the form number 2, and just paste that in there. There, that is it on form number 2 as well. The only bit I'll change it, I'm just going to change that to layer, let's say level 2. Level 2 math app. There. Let's run it one more time. There guys, that is how it's looking. All we then need to do now is to add some codes. I'm going to exit out now and let's start work with the coding. But before that, I'm going to go straight to Solution Explorer in here and right click on the name of your project, and in there select Add, and let's select Reference. Now what I'm looking for is the speech library, so let's type in speech there. Click on the speech because I like my system to actually communicate achievement to end users, so click on OK. There we go. Now we have speech attached to the system. Okay, just double click on this form and I'm going to go right up there. Let's scroll right up. First of all, you see this very form here, myform.h. I'm going to have to include that. So enter hash and just enter include. myform.h. That's my form1.h there. Now the other thing that I'm going to do is, you see right underneath here, I'm now going to include the speech. So let's come right down here, copy that and just paste that in here, column. Let's type in speech, and column, we need the synthesizer as well. There we go, that is it right there. Now the other thing that I'm going to need is, I'm also going to need media. So let's say system, using namespace system column media there, and that is that. Now the reason why I need the media, I'm going to be using some sound in there. Okay, and I'm going to copy that, the sound that I'm going to need, I'll put it inside the folder. So as time goes on, you guys will see that. Alright, so that is done. Now the next thing we want to do is, let's create a function that will drive the whole system. So that will actually make life easy. Okay, let's double click on the form, and right underneath this pragma end region, I'm going to create my function in there. And I will also declare some variables that I intend to use, create some object and declare some variable. But let's start with this. Let's go for the speech first. So I'm going to say speech synthesizer, and I'm just going to call that. Let's enter exponential and enter. That is the name of my speech synthesizer. Is going to be called SAPI, and I'm going to say equals get new garbage, and the new garbage is going to be the synthesizer as well. So let's just copy and paste this there. There we go. So I've just created an object for the speech. The next thing is, I'm going to create another object for the random function. I'm going to call that random number. Let's just call it ran. That would be equals garbage collector, and get me the random. Enter parentheses as well for that. There. Now the next thing is, I'm going to create a variable for my arithmetic operator function. So I'm going to just say string arithmetic. Let's just call that operator. That's one of the variables I intend to use. This should be uppercase. Okay, and now I'm going to create another one that's going to be a local variable. This local variable, I will use that will be used to carry out kind of like incrementation. When you achieve a target, you get it +1. So that's the whole idea of this variable. Alright, that's fine. Now right underneath these 4 declarations, I'm going to create a function in there. So let's just say private, and that is going to be system. And I'm going to make it void so that it doesn't return anything. Void, and the name I've just called that maths operator. Okay, there, that is the name of my function. Now within it, I'm going to declare some some local variables. Let's say int number 1. That's we actually take in whatever value we have inside this random. So I'm going to say ran to the next one. Ran to next. The choice is yours, whatever value you want to enter. But maybe let's say the fourth, this we can just make this to start from maybe 13 to 24. Okay, that's fine. The choice is yours how you want it. It can be 1 to 12 or whatever. Just do whatever you like. And the next one, I'm going to call it number 2. And I'm going to make the number 2 1 to 12. So number 1 will always be higher than number 12, so that's fine. Then another one is going to be an operation. So these very operations, I'm going to use that to take care of my switch statement, and that would also take care of the random operator that I intend to use. So I'm going to be using, let's say I'm using about 1 to 5. There we go. And another integer, and that is assigned the value of 1. Okay, now I want to do one thing. You see, right inside my form here I have this very object. Okay, I want the system to get focus on this, so I'm going to copy that back inside my function here. I'm going to say txt result, just get focus right in there. There we go. There. Now let's use a for loop to take care of, let's say to take care of the operator. So in here I'm going to say for, let's move this up, for int I, that will be equals the value of 0, and I is less than number, that is the variable up here, comma, I'm just going to say I++, enter, curly braces, and within that curly braces I will then create my switch statement, and the switch statement is going to be for this operator. Grab hold of that, paste that in here, there, and the switch statement will also enter curly braces. Now all we then need to do is case number 1. In the case of that, the arithmetic operator is just going to be 1, this very one. Copy that. That is number 1, and what we will have in there is going to be the plus sign. That will be equals the plus sign. There we go. Now this following text box, let me show that to you. This very one, let's check out the name. The name is text box 1, and the other one is text box 2. Right, that's fine. Okay, you can just grab a hold of that back in here. So let's say text box 1 dot text, that will be equals, we need to convert it though, convert whatever we have in there, because we don't want to assign this number, and this is an integer, so this only takes in string character, so it has to be converted. So let's convert that first. Convert column to string. And what are we converting? We are converting number, this very one. Paste that in there, and right here enter semicolon. There. Okay, so let's just copy that for the second one. and right here I'm going to change that to 2, and this is number 2. Make sure you enter your break in there. So that's for the first one, but here seems to have an error. Let's see why. Okay, I'm missing out the reference. There we go, the error is gone. And right underneath here I'm now going to ask Happy to say something else. So I'm going to say Happy, that will be speak as sing, and I just want you to say whatever value we have in the text box here. Grab a hold of that, paste that in here, and I'm going to call that plus. Nice, Happy to read that out, plus, and we add another plus in here, and that will be for value number 2. Paste that here, and the following statement, output the following statement. Let's say what is the answer. Okay, so whatever I see there, maybe 12 plus days, what is the answer? Alright, and that takes care of my very first switch statement. I'm going to copy that now and use that for the others. So the next one, let's go for maybe the subtraction. So copy all of that, come right down here, paste, and this will be subtraction, and change the value in here to minus. Yeah, there we go. That is fine. Repeat the same thing for the next one. Paste, and this is number 2 though. This is 2 and this is 3, and here we can make that multiplication sign in there and change this to multiply by. Okay, alright then, that's fine. Now we need division. Paste, and this will be division. This is number 4, and in here we just enter divided by. That's for division. Alright, that's fine. So let's take care of right underneath here. I'm going to take care of defaults if there's any error. So I just want it to default as follows. Let's say arithmetic operator is going to be question mark. So just grab a hold of that. And ask it to break. There we go. And right underneath here, I'm now going to ask the operator to display whatever operator we have in there, and the operator, let's see, that's the operator there, and the name is going to be LBL operator. Okay, then grab hold of that. LBL operator to display as follows. Right underneath here, display whatever type of operator we have in there, and that is going to be this. There, and that takes care of my function. All I just need to do now is to call this very function. That's the function. Grab hold of it. Okay, double click on your form load, or double click on the form itself to take you to the event form load. There we go. And in here, paste. There. You can also write it inside your form load. I mean, I'm talking about the lines of code inside the form load, but since I'm going using the lines of codes in other area, so it's alright. Just put them in a function. That makes life easier for you. All you just need to do is to call the function. I'm going to save that. Let's run it and see what's going to happen. So click on run, and it's coming up.
15 plus 11, what is the answer?
You see that? So all you just need to do is enter your answer right there. Okay, so we need the result to check if my answer is right or wrong. So I'm going to exit out. That is fine. Now before I continue, I want to do one thing. I need some sound. So I already have the audio file, so I'm going to copy that. There they are. So I only need maybe these, and these. So okay, let's just grab the whole of the audio file, copy, and I will paste that right inside wherever my program is. Where is it? Right here. Just dump it right there and paste. There, I'm going to be addressing that shortly. Okay, let's go back into my program now. I'm going to go straight to the button, this very button, and that will be calling the audio file for me. So you see this one that says result. Double click on result. And right in here, first of all, I'm going to create an object for the form. Let's say my form. Yeah, that's going to be for form 1. My form 1. That's pointing to, let's call the form name form 2. That's the object name or the instance of the object equals garbage collector new, and the form is going to be form 2. Form 1 is called form 1. There, that's my very first object created. Now the next thing is I now need to create another local variable in here that I will assign numbers to. Okay, we can grab hold of all of these. Okay, just grab hold of one, and right in here, paste that in there, and this is going to be my integer. Let's say equals whatever we have in here. There. Okay, like I said, this is going to be a local variable. There we go, and the error should disappear, but I want you to convert everything to int 32, so I can say to int 32. There we go. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to copy this one for the second one. Just copy, paste that in here, and this is going to be num2, and this is txt number 2. Convert that as well. There. Now that that is done, I'm now also going to create another variable, two local variable. Actually, one is going to be for answer, and the other one is going to be called results. Right there inside my check result, so the button called check result. Now to start with, add value, that is a global variable that is right up there. That would be equals add value plus 1. I'll be using that to take care of the points that will be awarded to the user. Now that that is done, we now need to check this text box, whatever we have in there, using an if statement. So we come right in here. So if that very text box equals the plus sign. If it's equals the plus sign, we want the following to happen. Answer will be equals number 1 plus number 2. There. That's the very first one. Else if it's subtract space that there, else if, there should be a space in there. If it's subtract, this should be subtract. Grab hold of that, copy, paste it right underneath here. Let's put a bit of space here. And this multiplication, there, the next one will be division. Change this to division, and here division. Alright, so finally I can just say else, that will be 0, number will be 0, else let's say answer equals 0. There, all taken care of. Now that that is done, we now need to take care of the following result. So what we want to do now is in here, this will determine, these very lines of code is to determine the type of operator that we using. But right here inside my txt result here, I want it to be 0 the first time. However, if the value in there is 0, I want the system to output a statement. So let's use an if statement to take care of that. Just grab hold of the name. Back inside my codes, right underneath here, another if statement. Let's break that. First of all, I'm going to say results. Want you to assign as follows. As a result, convert whatever we have into int 32, and that is going to be that dot text. Now using an if statement, if result is not equals to answer. So if result is not equals to answer, we now want SAPI to say as follows. So where is SAPI? This is SAPI here. I can grab hold of all of this, just modify it. So we want SAPI to speak out. So we can just call that incorrect whatever. Let's say, yeah, and let's say incorrect answer. The right answer is whatever. So the right answer can be, let's say, plus convert column to string, and what we convert into string is the variable answer. There. Okay, and I also want SAPI to, after that I want the system to display, let's say LBL display the right answer. And that will be answer. Grab hold of this. That will display the right answer. Once the system displays the right answer, my add value we have to be validated with nothing, so that will be minus minus there. Then I also want to call my function math function to start all over. Okay, that is the function that I created earlier. Once the math function starts all over, I now also want my text box to get focused. So let's say focus. Alright, so once it's focused, whatever details we have on it should be cleared though. So let's say text box, like that. There. And now we need to call this sound. The see this very sound that I have in here? I'm going to copy open up that. I'm going to copy the alarm. So select it, right click on it and select copy part. That is it right there. Copy the part. Now underneath here, using this function, sound player, the sound player. So let's just give that an instant called SP. That will be equals garbage collector new. That's going to be the sound player. And that will be as follows. Enter that. Alright, so get rid of this as well. So instead of backspace here, all of that will be instead of backslash, all of that will be /, and change this as well, and this almost there, and the last one, there we go. So enter semicolon here. If the answer is wrong, this will come out with a sound, an irritating sound actually. Okay, that's the first one taken care of. Now let's take care of supposing you have winning. If you have winning, I'm going to grab a hold of all of these, copy that, and just paste that underneath here, and get rid of this. If it's equals, that will be equals. Should be an if statement. And the winning is this name in here that I have in here. That is it. Winning, or win is called. Change this to win. There. In that case, we're gonna get rid of this. We don't need the sound anymore. Let's get rid of this sound. Yeah, get rid of that. And in here we can just clear this, copy. Yeah, just move this up. Let's rearrange it a lot. Oh, this sound will not play. Yeah, the address is there, but I do need, let's say, I do need to load it up. Load the sound. And I also need to get it play. I say SP at play sync. Play sync. There we go. And I need that here as well. Paste that underneath here. Alright, let's bring this. I'm going to copy all of this. Just call it off and just put it right underneath here. There we go. Alright, and I also need to call this right away. There, call that. And what else? Once that is called, we now want our display. Let's get rid of all of this. We want our display, let's say LBL store point, the text that will be equals, we need to convert to string, column to string, and what are we converting? We're actually converting add value. There we go. That will be +1 right away. Okay, and we now need the system to get focus again. Copy, paste it right underneath there. There. That is fine. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do now to go to the next form is, I'm just going to, maybe let's allocate about 2 or whatever. Yeah, 2 we do. So we can just come right here, use an if statement. If LBL, this equals 2, paste that in there. So once we get the score, let's say the score 3, yeah, come right down here. So if it's equals 3, that will be equals, and we want, okay, we want SAPI to pause. Now what is the name of my form? What did I call the objects? The form 2, or what did I created a form in here, an object in here, it's called form 2, right? Grab all of that, and right here we want SAPI to pause. SAPI, I want you to pause, be quiet. There we go. And display form 2, show, and this is going to be dot hide, no, hide. And that is all there is to that. And finally, I want this to display the score, the total score. Grab hold of that, and that will come right here. Yeah, there we go. And then this if statement should actually be here, right there. It should be inside. Okay, inside this very if statement. Let's tab this. Yeah. Okay, that is it, done. Alright, so the result button is taken care of. Alright, so I'm going to try it out, but then let me show you guys one thing here. You see, SAPI here is going to get this mixed up. So let's enter column in there. Alright. Okay, let's run it now. I think I'm in position to run this now. Okay, click on run. Let's see what's going to happen.
17 multiplied by 3, what is the answer?
That's good. So 17 multiplied by 3, and what is that? Okay, let's enter the right answer. There.
17 minus 1, what is the answer?
I'm going to enter invalid answer in there, and let's see what's going to happen.
Incorrect answer. The right answer is 16.
Okay.
20 plus 7, what is the answer?
And let's go for the right answer again.
(17 minus 8), what is the answer?
Let's see. Okay, let's get this right as well. There we go. We go straight onto level 2. Okay, so that's how it's gonna work. Once you get it all right, it takes you straight to the next level. Okay, with the level 2, that is the form in here. First of all, when you end the form, I want it to exit out. So let's select the form, go straight to the properties, and go to event. Inside event, and I want close, the event called form closing. Double click on form closing. That is the event right there. I'm just gonna enter application, I think column exit. Yeah, that's it there. All right, so that is taken care of. You see, with the second form, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy the functions, everything that I have in here inside the first form. I'm going to copy everything. Okay, you can always call this function, but I'm going to change the values around, so I might as well just copy everything. So grab hold of these, do that again. But if you want to copy it, this has to be changed. If you want to just call this has to be changed to public. But since I'm changing the value, that's fine. There we go. So copy that. There, I'm going to go straight to form number 2, this very one, level 2. Double click on level 2, or that is it right there, I think, here. And right underneath the pragma region there, paste there. So let's change the value in here. So I'm going to make that, let's say, about 48, and let's go for 100. Here it's going to be 1 to 47. There we go. Now let's go back to the button as well. I haven't changed anything, so I'm just going to double click on that. Grab hold of all of these. Grab hold of all of that, bring it right down. I'm going to change one or two things in there. Copy and come straight here. Form number 2. Double click on that and paste that right in there. Paste. Okay, so let's carry out just few changes in here. I'm going to go right up here. You see, in the first place, I'm not going to call anything. I just need game over in there, so I'm going to end that there. The other thing I intend to do, let's see, there's one error underneath here. Yeah, that is it. Get rid of that. Okay, the other thing that I intend to do is I'm going to create one global variable here underneath here. So I'm going to call that duration. And the value is going to be, let's go for 100 there. And let's go back to the form, back to form, the second form, or level 2. On this very level 2, I'm going to add a text box, no, a label. Let's add a label. Grab hold of this, just paste it somewhere here, and that is going to be for my counter. And I also need a timer. Come right here and grab hold of a timer. Scroll right down. There we go. And now have timer object in there. That is fine. And let's give this a name. So let's go straight to the properties in here. Just call that maybe LBL timer counter. There we go. LBL timer counter. And now I will double click on the form. Right inside my form load. And I want to call my function. I have the same name for the function. If you want to change it, you can change it. So, alright, that is my function called. And now the timer, let's get it enabled. Timer 1 dash enabled, and that will be equals true. There. And I also want the timer. Let's give it an interval of let's say timer 1 dash interval. It's an interval. There we go. Double click on that. And I'm going to make the interval about, let's say, 100. There we go. Alright, one other thing is, let's just say timer here first. And let's say timer 1, we want it to start. There. Okay, but first of all, let's do one thing before I go any further. I'm going to create a timer object here. Let's say timer 1, that will be equals garbage collected news. Let's say system column windows column from. That will be timer. Just creating an object in there. Right, done. And the other thing is I'm now going to use the tick function, but the tick function will give me an error if I use it right away. Before I do, okay, let's just enter tick function in there anyway. I'm going to say this dash time 1 dash or dot tick, and that will be plus equals garbage collect new, let's say system column. The event that I intend to use will be as an event handler, and I want you to handle this comma, and that will be my form, that's form 1, column timer 1 underscore tick. There. So what I've just done in here is the timer is actually on form 1, but we have an error, the tick, because I don't have event called tick. So let's come right into the design, and I will then double click on the timer. There's the timer there, double click on it, and we will have our tick event. And there we go, that is the timer tick event, and there goes the error. Okay, right underneath here, let's say txt resets. I want the system to get focus there, focus as well. Right, okay, now let's go back to the timer. Oh, that's the timer tick in there. So for those who don't know, all you need to do is double click on the timer here, the object timer, and we're going to enter the following lines of codes in there. So using an if statement, I'm going to say if the duration equals the value of 0, I want the following. So we say timer 1, we want it to stop. There. And LBL, let's say LBL, I'm going to need something that would say the game is over or anything, so I'm going to do that. But let's come right down here, just let's say Sappy, let Sappy say something for me. Let's say Sappy, I want you to speak as follows. Sappy dash async, I want you to say the following. Let's say goodbye. Maybe the game is over. Yeah, something like that. There. And the duration in this case, I'm going to increase this duration again so that SAP doesn't repeat herself. So plus 1 equals 1. Right. And underneath here, I'm going to use an if statement, else if, I mean. So grab hold of this and come right down here, else if. Else if the duration is greater than 0, then we want duration to get subtracted. This is that, and the timer itself, timer 1 dash, I want it to stop. Then LBL timer counter, that will be equals duration dot convert that to string. There we go. Now, just one thing left. Let's come right in here. I'm just going to create something that will say game over. Copy this, paste it right here, and I'm going to change the name of that to game over. Let's say LBL game over. LBL game over. Right. Grab all of that. Come right down here. First of all, let's change the caption to something larger. Right there. And just change the details. I think that's too big. Let's make it about 40. Yeah, that's fine. Something like that. And we just need to change maybe 52 we do. Yeah, that's cool. Now let's enter some data in there. The data that will say game over. Game over. There we go. Just something like that. Okay, I can make it a bit larger anyway. I'm gonna go for my 72. About time I make up my mind. Yeah, game over. There. Alright, so back inside my code here, timer code, double click on that, and right here I'm just going to enter LBL game over, become visible, dash visible. That will be equals true. Now the game over itself, I was meant to set that character to, let's set it to visible. The property visible, we need to make that false. See where we have visible? Let's change that to false. There we go. Right. And finally, just check the interval and make sure we have, okay, 100. That will do. And there, that is it. So I'm going to run it now. Let's click on run. There, we do have an error. Let's see. Let's check out our error. And here we're missing something there. Here we do have an error. I think it's got to do with the library. Yep, I'm right. It's got to do with the library. I can just copy that here. Let's go to go here and grab hold of this library. There we go. Grab hold of those library and paste it right in here for form number 1. Yeah, you do need this library because I'm going to be calling the speech and the media, so that is fine. Now come back down here. So those are the lines of codes. It's the same thing with the first one, apart from the timer. Alright, so let's just run that and see how that works. Click on run. There we go, there's no more error.
18
there.
minus 6, what is the answer?
12.
14 multiplied by 11, what is the answer?
Let's say we get that wrong.
Incorrect answer. The right answer is 154. 13 divided by 5, what is the answer?
Just for your information, because I have an integer, the answer to this is going to be 2.
"13 plus 2, what is the answer?
Let's see.
76 divided by 29, what is the answer?
Have a look at the timer. The timer is doing its own thing right now. Okay.
Goodbye. The game is over. Goodbye. The game
Okay,
is
as
over.
you can see, that is repeating
Goodbye.
itself, so we
The
can
game is
always
over.
reset. So let's
Goodbye. The game is over.
let's take care of all
Goodbye.
of these buttons. So let's go back in here. This needs to be taken care of as well. See the very first form, double click on that, and let's come right here and just enter as follows. I'm going to use try catch. You can use that as well. The choice is yours. And right underneath here, let's say catch, and that's going to be exception, and that is going to be at ex there. And right in here, I'm going to say system column, let's say Windows column forms, and column dialog results, and the alias is going to be I exit. There we go. And in that case, I want SAPI to also say something, so we can just get a hold of SAPI, or we just type it out. The choice is yours. Grab this. I just want SAPI to voice out something in here. Confirm if you want to exit, something like that. So get hold of, grab, or get rid of that and just say confirm if you want to exit. There, that's what SAPI will say. And underneath here, I'm going to call this alias here, or my variable. So the variable will be equals message box, and that will be column show. Yeah, confirm if you want to exit. Grab all of everything in here, paste that in here. That will be argument 1, and there's a comma, we enter. Let's just call that math app. Argument number 2 done. Argument number 3, let's say message box button. That will be column yes or no. Then comma. Let's go for argument number 4. That will be message box icon, and the icon I'm going to use will be question. There. So I will now use if statement here. If I exit equals system.dialog result. We can just grab hold of all of these, paste it in here. That will be column yes. Then we just want the application to exit. Application. Column exit. So that takes care of my exit function. There. Now for the reset, all I just do is call my, let's double click on that, call the, call the mass function, mass operator function. There we go. And there, so I'm going to repeat the same thing for the other form. So copy all of this. Oh, let's output a message in here. Let's say message box show. Let's just put that in here. My default message will be ex.message. There. Alright, that finally take care of my exit. So I'm going to copy all of this. Copy that, go to form number 2. Right here, double click on that. Paste. Back on form 2, double click on clear. I'm going to pause SAPI right there. Say SAPI dash pause. There. And the reset, let's come in here, reset. No, here. The reset, we need to call the function math operator. There we go, all done. And that's all there is to it. So in here we also need to declare. I can just use this one there as well. Let's paste that in here. There. Now try it one more time, then we can call it the end of this program. And you guys can always modify and improve on it.
21 multiplied by 10, what is the answer?
Okay then, let's add a 0 there. There.
22 divided by 5, what is the answer?
And like I told you, the answer to this will be 4 because we're working with integer.
13 minus 2, what is the answer?
Okay.
$63 multiplied by 11, what is the answer?
Alright, I'm just going to let this run out. Get the wrong answer in
Incorrect answer.
there.
The right answer is 693. 82 divided by 22, what is the answer? Goodbye. The game is over. Goodbye. The game is over.
Pause. There. And that is how you create your own math app using C++. So with that, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoyed, and please do subscribe to my channel, and you can also join to become a member of the channel. A lot of benefits for the members. Bye for now.